Life is a strange and delicate balance between what we chase and what we already hold inside. We spend years running toward horizons that keep moving, believing that happiness lives somewhere ahead, just out of reach. But the truth is quieter, older, and far less dramatic. Nothing outside of us has ever been able to complete what we refuse to awaken within. Wealth, success, admiration, they shine, but they never satisfy the way we imagine. Some people rise to great heights, only to discover that the summit is not a place of arrival, but a mirror that reflects everything they tried to escape. Because the higher you climb without knowing who you are, the more overwhelming the silence becomes. And yet, we keep climbing. We chase applause that fades seconds after it's heard. We gather possessions that lose their brilliance the moment we own them. We seek validation from people who don't even know themselves. And all the while, life whispers the same ancient truth. You cannot outrun yourself, not even for a moment. From the perspective of youth, time seems infinite, a vast ocean stretching far beyond the horizon. But as the years pass, we begin to understand that life is not an ocean, it's a river that moves quietly and steadily, whether we pay attention or not. The river carries everyone, the bold, the fearful, the dreamers, the hesitant, all at the same speed. What changes is not the current, but the way we choose to move with it. Some drift. Some fight against the flow. Some close their eyes and pretend they are not being carried. But a rare few, wake up. They learn to swim with awareness, with courage, with intention. They understand that while they can't control the current, they can shape the journey. And this realization changes everything, because life becomes smaller when lived in fear and expands endlessly when lived with purpose. Purpose is not loud. It does not announce itself with thunder or fire. It comes quietly, in moments of clarity, in small whispers, in the gentle pull of what feels undeniably right. But to hear it, we must first stop listening to the noise that surrounds us. The demands, the expectations, the comparisons, the fears that don't belong to us. To live with purpose is to reclaim ownership of your own story. It means no longer letting the past dictate your future, and no longer letting the world define your worth. Every person carries a world inside them, whole universes of memories, dreams, fears, and possibilities. But most people never explore more than a single room in that infinite house. They lock themselves into one version of who they think they are, forgetting that identity is not a prison, it is a landscape, a territory meant to be crossed, not guarded. There is a quiet kind of power that appears the moment we stop being afraid of ourselves. When we finally understand that growth is not something that happens to us, but something we choose. Every day, in every decision, in every step. Sometimes growth looks like climbing. Sometimes it looks like letting go. Sometimes it looks like starting again after everything has fallen apart. The strongest people are not the ones with perfect lives, but the ones who survived themselves, their doubts, their fears, their darkest nights. They walked through storms not because they were fearless, but because something inside them refused to disappear. And life rewards those who refuse to disappear, not with riches or fame, but with inner ground, the kind that no one can take away. We often think that transformation is dramatic, sudden, lightning striking from the sky. But real transformation is slow and patient. It happens in the way we speak to ourselves when no one else is listening. It happens in the choices we make on difficult days. It happens in the moments when we could give up, but we don't. Strength is rarely visible from the outside. You can't always see it in someone's posture or achievements. Sometimes the people who look the calmest are carrying entire worlds on their shoulders. Sometimes the ones who smile the most are rebuilding themselves in silence. And sometimes the person you think is the strongest is simply the one who learned to endure the longest. But endurance is not the goal. Awakening is. To awaken is to remember that you are not a reflection of your past, nor a prediction of your fears. You are a possibility, constantly unfolding, constantly learning, constantly becoming. You are not finished. You are not defined. You are not trapped. Every sunrise is an invitation to start again. People fear change because they think it will take something from them. But change does not take, it reveals. It reveals the strength you forgot you had. It reveals the courage you didn't know was there. It reveals the path that was always meant for you, waiting quietly until you were ready to walk it. And readiness does not come from perfection. It comes from honesty, the willingness to see yourself as you are, without illusion. Honesty with yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It is the light that breaks the darkness, the hand that opens the locked door. But honesty requires bravery. Sometimes it asks you to confront truths you have avoided for years. Sometimes it asks you to let go of identities that no longer serve you. Sometimes it asks you to admit that the life you are living is smaller than the life you desire. There is nothing noble about shrinking to fit places you've outgrown. There is nothing wise about dimming your light to make others comfortable. There is nothing brave about pretending you are fine when your soul is begging you to change. Life is too short for the versions of yourself that no longer feel true. And yet, you are allowed to outgrow everything: your habits, your fears, your dreams, even the people who no longer walk in the same direction. Growth is not betrayal. Sometimes it is the highest form of loyalty, loyalty to the person you are becoming. When you surrender the illusion of control, you gain the reality of freedom. When you stop chasing things that drain you, you make space for things that nourish you. When you accept that life is not meant to be conquered but experienced, you begin to understand its real depth. Nothing that is truly yours will ever require you to abandon yourself. Nothing real demands you to sacrifice your soul. Nothing meaningful asks you to become someone you are not. Peace comes from alignment. When your actions reflect your values, your words reflect your truth, and your choices reflect your essence. And when you find that alignment, even for a moment, you will understand a profound truth. Life does not get easier. You become clearer. Clarity is worth more than certainty. Clarity does not promise comfort, but it promises direction. It is the compass that guides you through the unknown. And the unknown is not your enemy. It is your path. We were not born to repeat days. We were born to evolve, to rise, to stumble and rise again, to learn, to unlearn, to begin again as many times as necessary. The greatest tragedy is not failure, it is sleepwalking through life, never realizing the depth of who you could have been. You were not meant for a small life. You were meant for a meaningful one, a life that feels like your own, a life where you can stand at the end and say, I was awake, I was alive, I was here.